first light of dawn breaks across the horizon, where the towering peaks of Mount Kilimanjaro rise from the earth like an enduring symbol of Africa. The kings of the savannah awaken, ready to defend their territories and protect their young against the relentless challenges of nature and rival contenders. Across the plains, vast grazing herds wander in search of fresh pastures, while predators silently follow in their shadows. Tanzania, a land where the endless Serengeti plains stretch to the horizon like a living tapestry, and the Ngorongoro Crater forms a colossal natural amphitheater overflowing with life. When the seasonal rains arrive, they breathe new life into Zanzibar's mangrove forests and replenish the country's remarkably diverse ecosystems. With every returning season, a new cycle of life begins, and the timeless struggle for survival unfolds like a grand symphony of the natural world. Welcome to wild Tanzania, survival challenges in the land of predators. As the sun casts its radiant golden light across the endless plains of the Serengeti, the vegetation becomes far more than a source of life. It forms the very foundation of the ecosystem's delicate balance. Yet this balance does not sustain itself. It is maintained by the strength, discipline, and determination and dominance of lions, the guardians of the savannah, carrying an indispensable role within this extraordinary ecosystem. As the dry season sweeps across the Serengeti, the once lush sea of grass gradually transforms into a vast landscape of golden, sun-scorched earth, fractured by heat and drought. Encompassing Serengeti National Park, the Ngorongoro Conservation Area, and the Maswa Game Reserve, the greater Serengeti ecosystem serves as the ecological heartbeat of northern Tanzania. Spanning more than 5,700 square miles and ranging in elevation from approximately 3,020 to 6,070 feet. This immense wilderness becomes both a breathtaking spectacle and a powerful reminder of nature's resilience and unforgetting strength. From May through October, the dry season reshapes the landscape into its distinctive arid form. The Grumeti and Mara rivers shrink into fragile ribbons of water, winding across the plains like the fading lifeblood of the land. Over the past half-century, annual rainfall across the region has declined by approximately 10%, further intensifying the struggle for survival. Daytime temperatures frequently exceed 95 degrees Fahrenheit, and can occasionally climb beyond 104 degrees, baking the ground until every step seems to cross a landscape consumed by heat. During the dry season, life appears to slow, yet beneath the stillness, an unrelenting struggle continues. Vast herds of wildebeest and zebras migrate across the plains in search of water and fresh grazing, creating one of Earth's greatest journeys of survival, where every hoofprint tells a story of endurance. Meanwhile, apex predators such as lions may travel up to 12 miles each day in pursuit of prey that becomes increasingly scarce. Every river, every thicket, and every clearing between the iconic granite kopjes plays a vital role in sustaining the Serengeti's intricate web of life. Predators such as hyenas and cheetahs do far more than hunt. By regulating herbivore populations, they help prevent overgrazing and preserve the health of the grasslands. Scavengers such as vultures perform an equally essential task, rapidly consuming carcasses and limiting the spread of disease. They form an extraordinarily balanced ecological network where every species serves as an indispensable link in the chain of life. The African grasslands stretch endlessly toward the horizon, an immense stage where breathtaking beauty and hidden dangers exist side by side. As the first rays of sunlight wash across the savannah, a slender figure emerges from the golden grass, moving with barely a whisper, as silent as the passing wind. The cheetah, the fastest land animal on Earth, is the undisputed master of speed across these open plains. Yet here, speed alone is never enough. In a world where survival is decided in moments, every stride reflects millions of years of evolutionary refinement. Its astonishing velocity is not simply a product of powerful muscles, but the culmination of countless adaptations shaped by natural selection. A cheetah can reach speeds of up to 70 miles per hour during a short sprint and accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3 seconds, placing it among the fastest accelerating animals ever to exist. Behind this extraordinary performance lies a body engineered for speed. Long, powerful limbs act like coiled springs, propelling each stride as far as 20 to 25 feet. A remarkably flexible spine bends and recoils like a drawn bow, storing and releasing energy with every bound. At full speed, a cheetah can take as many as 4 strides every second, each one delivering an explosive burst of power. Unlike lions or leopards, its claws remain only partially retractable, providing exceptional traction, much like the spikes worn by elite sprinters. Its tail, reaching nearly 30 inches in length, functions as a dynamic counterbalance, allowing the cheetah to execute sharp turns with extraordinary precision while pursuing prey across uneven ground. The cheetah's speed depends on far more than its muscles alone. Every sprint is supported by a highly specialized respiratory and cardiovascular system, working in perfect synchrony. Large lungs deliver vast amounts of oxygen to the muscles, while a powerful heart circulates blood at an exceptional rate, sustaining the intense physical demands of the chase. But this remarkable performance comes at a cost. A full-speed pursuit can last only 20 to 30 seconds before the animal's body temperature rises to dangerous levels, forcing it to stop and recover through rapid, heavy breathing. Every hunt, therefore, becomes a calculated gamble. If the chase fails, the prey escapes, while the cheetah loses precious energy that may determine its ability to survive the days ahead. While the cheetah has evolved to dominate the open plains through unmatched speed, another predator has followed a very different evolutionary path. The The leopard's lineage stretches back more than 2 million years, as its ancestors gradually adapted to thrive in an extraordinary range of environments, from dense tropical forests to vast open savannas. This remarkable adaptability has made the leopard one of the most widespread and successful big cats on Earth. Among the world's great cats, the leopard stands apart as a master of patience and precision. In the Serengeti, it turns the ancient granite kopjes into natural observation posts, where almost no movement escapes its watchful eyes. As the dry season tightens its grip and water becomes increasingly scarce, the kopjes provide far more than shelter. Their rugged slopes and scattered boulders become ideal hunting grounds, allowing leopards to blend seamlessly into the rocky landscape while waiting with remarkable patience for the perfect opportunity. Gifted climbers, they effortlessly scale elevated outcrops to survey the plains below. From these commanding vantage points, they search for impalas, warthogs, and on occasion, even baboons. Every movement is deliberate, and every pounce is executed with extraordinary precision. When the moment finally arrives, the leopard slips silently from the shadows of the kopjes, advancing with almost imperceptible movements. It closes the distance to within 20 to 30 feet before launching forward in a sudden burst of explosive power. Strong jaws and a crushing bite are directed toward the prey's throat, quickly restricting airflow and bringing the struggle to an end. With a hunting success rate approaching 40%, the leopard ranks among the most efficient solitary predators in the African savanna. After a successful hunt, the challenge is far from over. Leopards frequently drag their prey high into the branches of nearby trees, one of their most distinctive behaviors. This remarkable strategy protects the carcass from powerful scavengers, such as lions and hyenas, while showcasing the leopard's exceptional strength. Weighing between roughly 90 and 150 pounds, an adult leopard is capable of hoisting prey heavier than itself, high above the ground, an extraordinary display of muscular power rarely matched among the world's big cats. Yet even this elusive predator is not beyond the reach of modern threats. The leopard is currently classified as vulnerable on the IUCN Red List, with habitat loss, human expansion, and illegal hunting continuing to drive population declines across much of its range. Even within protected landscapes such as the Serengeti, these pressures remain an ever-present challenge, reminding us that survival depends not only on the abilities of the predator, but also on the future of the ecosystem it inhabits. As the harsh Serengeti dry season deepens and hot winds sweep dust across the sun-scorched grasslands, another predator assumes its place at the center of this ancient drama. The lion, long regarded as the undisputed monarch of the savanna, rules not from a throne, but through strength, experience, cooperation, and an intricate social structure, unlike that of any other big cat. As waterholes shrink and prey becomes increasingly difficult to find, every hunt demands flawless coordination. Success or failure is often determined within moments, drawing a fine line between survival and starvation. More than 1.5 million years of evolution have shaped lions into one of the world's most formidable social predators. Unlike the solitary leopard or cheetah, lions live in prides, a sophisticated family structure that greatly increases their chances of survival. A typical pride consists of several related lionesses, their cubs, and a coalition of adult males, with the lionesses carrying out most of the hunting. Their ability to cooperate, communicate, and coordinate their movements allows them to bring down prey far larger than any individual lion could manage alone. When stealth gives way to confrontation, the lion's immense physical power becomes its greatest advantage. Adult males commonly weigh between 330 and 420 pounds, enabling them to overpower large herbivores with explosive force and a suffocating bite delivered to the throat or muzzle. Yet even after a successful kill, victory is never guaranteed. Hyenas often gather within minutes, hoping to steal the carcass, forcing the pride to defend both its hard-earned meal and the vulnerable cubs that depend upon it. The role of lions extends far beyond that of apex predators. They are among the principal architects of the Serengeti's ecological balance, helping to regulate herbivore populations and shaping the rhythms of one of the most remarkable ecosystems on Earth. The role of lions within the Serengeti ecosystem extends far beyond that of apex predators. By regulating herbivore populations, they help prevent overgrazing and preserve the delicate balance of the grasslands. What remains after a successful hunt sustains an entire community of scavengers, from vultures to jackals, ensuring that no resource is wasted. In this remarkable ecosystem, even death becomes part of life's continuous cycle. Beneath the relentless sun of the Serengeti dry season, herds of African buffalo move across the parched plains like living fortresses. Weighing between 1,000 and 2,000 pounds, these massive herbivores embody strength, endurance, and resilience. Yet survival here depends on far more than size alone. It is the result of behaviors refined through millions of years of evolution. As water becomes as precious as gold, and predators wait for every opportunity, African buffalo not only struggle to endure, but also play an essential role in shaping the ecosystem that surrounds them. The buffalo's greatest strength lies not in any single individual, but in the unity of the herd. A single group may number from a few dozen to several hundred animals, transforming collective defense into a formidable survival strategy. During the dry season, herds gather around the few remaining water sources, places where survival and death are often decided within moments. Lions understand this all too well, frequently launching ambushes near watering holes where prey is forced into the open. Yet buffalo are anything but defenseless. At the first sign of danger, the herd instinctively forms a protective wall, with powerful adults facing outward and their curved horns aimed directly at the approaching threat, while calves and weaker members remain safely protected at the center. The formation resembles an ancient fortress, where every individual contributes to the survival of the whole. Even such impressive defenses cannot eliminate danger entirely. Encounters between lions and African buffalo rank among the most dramatic confrontations on the African plains. Lions rely on patience, approaching under the cover of darkness or concealed by tall grass before launching a coordinated attack. Even then, hunting success typically ranges between 20 and 30%, as buffalo often respond with astonishing speed and determination. A single charge from a mature buffalo is capable of inflicting devastating injuries, and an inexperienced lion can quickly discover that today's hunter may become tomorrow's victim. Although they are herbivores, African buffalo are indispensable engineers of the Serengeti ecosystem. Their constant grazing prevents grasses from becoming overgrown, helping maintain the diversity of the savannah. Their droppings enrich the soil with nutrients that fuel new plant growth after the rains, while the remains of animals that die from old age or predation provide vital nourishment for scavengers, such as vultures and hyenas. Through life and death alike, buffalo sustain the intricate cycles that keep his ecosystem in balance. As the dry season deepens, another landscape begins to reveal its true character. Along the diminishing flow of the Tarangire River, the harsh beauty of Tarangire National Park emerges beneath an unforgiving sun. Located about 75 miles southwest of Arusha and covering more than 1,100 square miles, this vast wilderness depends on the Tarangire River as its lifeline. During the driest months, when water disappears from much of the surrounding landscape, the river becomes one of the few remaining refuges, drawing thousands of animals into one of East Africa's greatest seasonal gatherings. Yet, the dry season brings far more than opportunity. Even the most resilient animals must contend with mounting hardship. As the Tarangire River contracts into a chain of scattered pools, competition for water intensifies across the landscape. Predators expand their hunting ranges, while migrating herds push ever farther in search of the next reliable source of water. Every journey becomes another test of endurance, and every remaining waterhole becomes the center of an increasingly fragile world. Under the relentless heat of Tarangire's dry season, the shrinking waterholes are far more than places of refuge. They become lifelines that sustain entire communities of wildlife. Among their most remarkable inhabitants are the hippopotamuses, whose role extends well beyond their own survival. Through their daily movements and constant interaction with the water, they help shape the aquatic ecosystems that endure through the harshest months of the year. More than 55 million years ago, the ancestors of modern hippos and whales shared a common evolutionary ancestor before following very different evolutionary paths. Over millions of years, hippos became one of the world's largest land mammals while retaining an intimate dependence on water. Their thick yet highly sensitive skin must remain moist to prevent dehydration and overheating, while closable nostrils and ears allow them to spend extended periods beneath the surface, a lasting reminder of their ancient semi-aquatic heritage. In Tarangire, the dry season pushes these adaptations to their limits. As waterholes continue to shrink, hippos do more than simply endure. They preserve a remarkably complex social structure. A typical pod contains between 10 and 30 individuals, centered around a dominant male that defends the territory, while females and calves share the remaining space. During the hottest hours of the day, they crowd together in the water, stirring the mud with their enormous bodies. The muddy pools help regulate body temperature while creating habitat for countless smaller aquatic organisms. After sunset, the entire rhythm of their lives changes. Hippos leave the safety of the water and may travel up to 3 miles across the plains to feed. An adult can consume nearly 80 pounds of grass in a single night, transporting nutrients between terrestrial and aquatic environments in a way few other large mammals can achieve. Their nutrient-rich waste further contributes to the cycling of organic matter within rivers and pools, supporting aquatic food webs that persist even during the driest months. Despite their generally calm appearance, hippos rank among Africa's most dangerous large mammals. Their jaws can generate a bite force of around 1,800 pounds per square inch, and when threatened, they are capable of charging from the water with astonishing speed, reaching nearly 20 miles per hour on land. Few predators are willing to challenge a fully grown hippo, making these massive herbivores among the undisputed rulers of Africa's waterways. As the dry season reaches its peak, Tarangire becomes one of East Africa's greatest wildlife refuges. Thousands of animals converge upon the remaining water sources, and among them, immense herds of African savanna elephants dominate the landscape. Their towering silhouettes and deliberate movements transform the river valley into one of the continent's most spectacular gatherings of wildlife. Yet this extraordinary congregation represents far more than a breathtaking display. It reveals the irreplaceable importance of every river, every tree, and every remaining source of water, all woven together in the survival of this remarkable ecosystem. More than 7 million years ago, the ancestors of today's African savanna elephants diverged from those of the forest elephant, gradually adapting to life across the continent's vast open grasslands. Over countless generations, they evolved into the largest land animals on Earth, with mature bulls weighing as much as 13,000 pounds. Their immense ears function as highly efficient cooling systems, while their extraordinary memory enables them to recall ancient migration routes, hidden water sources, and vital survival knowledge passed from one generation to the next. In Tarangire, where every remaining drop of water becomes increasingly precious, the intelligence and unity of elephant herds are more than remarkable survival strategies. They are among the forces that help sustain the entire ecosystem. Guided by the matriarch, the oldest and most experienced female, the herd may travel dozens of miles in a single day, navigating the harsh landscape in search of food and water. As the Tarangire River recedes into broad stretches of dry sand, African savanna elephants use their tusks and powerful feet to excavate shallow wells beneath the riverbed. The water that slowly seeps into these sandy depressions does far more than satisfy the herd's own thirst. Zebras, wildebeest, antelope, birds, and countless other animals soon gather around these temporary springs, benefiting from the elephant's remarkable ability to uncover hidden groundwater. With extraordinary dexterity, the elephant's trunk carefully draws water from these shallow pools before lifting it to the mouth. An adult elephant consumes roughly 300 pounds of vegetation each day, feeding on grasses, leaves, bark, and branches, while traveling across vast distances. Along the way, they open pathways through dense vegetation and disperse thousands of seeds in nutrient-rich dung. When the rains finally return, these seeds germinate, renewing forests and grasslands across the landscape. In this way, elephants become far more than the largest herbivores in Africa. They are among the continent's most important ecosystem engineers, continually shaping the habitats on which countless other species depend. Yet even these giants are not beyond the reach of modern threats. The African savanna elephant, is currently classified as endangered on the IUCN Red List, with habitat fragmentation, human expansion, and poaching continuing to reduce populations across much of its range. Although Tarangire remains one of East Africa's most important strongholds for the species, increasing pressure beyond protected areas continues to challenge its long-term survival. As the dry season intensifies and resources become increasingly scarce, lions occasionally attempt one of the most dangerous hunts in the African wilderness, bringing down a young or vulnerable elephant. Such encounters are exceptionally risky. Adult males, which normally play a limited role in routine hunting, may join lionesses when confronting prey of this size. Success depends on isolating a calf or a weakened individual before the herd can respond. Elephants, however, possess one of the most sophisticated defensive systems in the animal kingdom. At the first sign of danger, the adults immediately gather into a tight protective formation, surrounding calves at the center while facing outward with their tusks toward the approaching threat. What moments earlier appeared to be a peaceful family instantly transforms into an impenetrable wall of strength and determination. A coordinated charge by several adults is often enough to force even the most experienced lions into retreat, demonstrating that cooperation can be every bit as powerful as physical strength. Their defense relies on far more than size alone. Elephants communicate continuously through vocalizations, body language, ground vibrations, and low-frequency rumbles that can travel remarkable distances. Loud trumpeting alerts nearby family members, while ear displays, trunk movements, and powerful charges leave little doubt that predators have crossed a dangerous boundary. Equally important is the wisdom carried by the matriarch. Her memory preserves ancient migration routes, dependable water sources, and locations where lions have ambushed herds in years past. Passed from one generation to the next, this accumulated knowledge has become one of the elephant's greatest advantages, allowing them to survive in one of Africa's most demanding landscapes. As another day draws toward its blazing afternoon, Tarangire reveals yet another face of the dry season. High among the spreading branches of ancient trees, lions rest above the heat of the plains, their watchful eyes fixed on the grasslands below, where the timeless struggle between hunger and survival continues without pause. This remarkable tree-climbing behavior, a rarity among lions, is far more than an unusual adaptation. It stands as a testament to their remarkable intelligence, resilience, and evolutionary flexibility, revealing how even the most powerful predators continue to adapt to an ever-changing world. In regions such as Tarangire and Lake Manyara, where daytime air temperatures can exceed 40 degrees Celsius and the ground itself may heat to well over 60 degrees Celsius, climbing acacia or sausage trees offers relief from the oppressive heat, while helping lions escape persistent biting insects, such as tsetse flies. From the vantage point of elevated branches, they command an uninterrupted view across the surrounding savannah, allowing them to detect approaching prey, monitor rival predators, and identify potential threats long before they come within striking distance. In Tarangire, where the dry season transforms rivers into broad stretches of sun-baked sand, towering trees become natural watchtowers for these remarkable lions. Using powerful forelimbs, sharp claws, and exceptional balance, they climb as high as 20 feet above the ground, where cooler breezes provide relief from the intense heat radiating from the plains below. For male lions weighing up to 420 pounds, climbing trees is an extraordinary display of agility, coordination, and muscular strength, defying expectations for predators of such impressive size. During the dry season, Serengeti becomes a gathering place for thousands of animals drawn to its remaining water sources. Yet, even amid this thriving wildlife spectacle, the tree-climbing lions remain one of the region's most iconic sights. Their silhouettes resting high among the branches, silently watching the endless plains below, embody the remarkable diversity and adaptability that define Africa's wild landscapes. However, the future of these extraordinary lions remains uncertain. According to the latest assessments by the IUCN, African lions are classified as vulnerable, while the famous tree-climbing populations of northern Tanzania remain especially rare and locally significant. Habitat fragmentation, expanding agriculture, human-wildlife conflict, illegal hunting, and climate change continue to place increasing pressure on their survival. Under the relentless sun of Serengeti's dry season, where every remaining drop of water is as precious as gold, herds of African savanna elephants move steadily across the cracked earth, their immense presence symbolizing both the strength and resilience of life in one of Africa's harshest landscapes. With every deliberate step, these giants reshape the environment around them, creating pathways, dispersing seeds, and sustaining countless other species that depend upon the same fragile ecosystem. Yet, even these colossal animals are not beyond the reach of danger. Hungry lions constantly search for opportunities, waiting patiently for the rare moment when even the largest herbivores may reveal a weakness. Encounters between African savanna elephants and lions represent one of nature's greatest contests, a battle not only of strength, but also of intelligence, experience, and cooperation. Over millions of years of evolution, elephants have developed the largest brain of any land animal, weighing approximately 5 kilograms, 11 pounds. Combined with exceptional long-term memory and remarkable situational awareness, this allows them to recognize danger, remember previous ambush sites, and make rapid decisions that protect the entire herd. Led by the matriarch, the oldest and most experienced female, the family moves with extraordinary coordination, every individual responding almost instinctively to her guidance, forming one of the most sophisticated social systems in the animal kingdom. Serengeti is not only a sanctuary for Africa's great mammals, but also one of the continent's richest bird habitats, supporting more than 550 recorded bird species. Among them stands the world's largest living bird, the Maasai ostrich, reaching heights of up to 9 feet and weighing as much as 320 pounds. The Maasai ostrich strides across the open savanna like a masterpiece of evolutionary engineering, carrying within its powerful frame a survival story written over millions of years. More than 40 million years ago, the ancestors of modern ostriches began adapting to increasingly dry and open environments. As forests gradually gave way to expanding grasslands, they abandoned the power of flight in exchange for something even more valuable and strength needed to survive on the ground. Their long, powerfully muscled legs became their greatest survival advantage, enabling them to sprint at speeds of up to 43 miles per hour. On the open savanna, that extraordinary speed allows them to outrun most of the predators that roam these vast grasslands. These remarkable legs serve not only as engines of speed, but also as formidable weapons. A single kick, delivered with immense force, is capable of inflicting devastating, even fatal injuries on would-be attackers. They also allow ostriches to travel enormous distances in search of fresh vegetation and the dwindling water sources that sustain life through the dry season. In Tarangire, the dry season tests every living creature. Yet the Maasai ostrich has evolved an impressive array of adaptations to thrive under these unforgiving conditions. It readily feeds on coarse grasses, thorny shrubs, seeds, leaves, flowers, and even small invertebrates, exploiting food resources that many other herbivores simply cannot utilize. Its highly efficient digestive system extracts nutrients from even the toughest plant material, converting hard seeds and fibrous vegetation into the energy required for survival. Remarkably, ostriches can survive for extended periods without drinking directly, obtaining much of the moisture they need from their food, while also producing metabolic water through digestion. With eyes measuring nearly 2 inches in diameter, the largest of any living land animal in proportion to body size, the Maasai ostrich possesses extraordinary vision. Its wide field of view allows it to detect predators from remarkable distances across the open plains, making its eyesight one of the species' greatest evolutionary advantages. At the first sign of danger, ostriches do far more than simply flee at breathtaking speed. They adopt an alert posture and use visual signals and low vocalizations to warn nearby birds, giving the flock precious moments to react before a predator closes the distance. During the breeding season, Maasai ostriches display a sophisticated social system centered around communal nesting. Their nests, simple shallow scrapes in the ground, lined with dry grasses and feathers, typically contain 10 to 15 eggs, although several females may lay eggs in the same nest. Each egg weighs nearly 3 pounds, making it the largest of any living bird, protected by an exceptionally thick shell, capable of withstanding both intense heat and many would-be predators. Parental duties are shared with remarkable efficiency. The male incubates the eggs throughout the night, his black plumage blending almost seamlessly into the darkness, while the lighter-colored female takes over during daylight hours, her sandy feathers providing effective camouflage beneath the brilliant African sun. This carefully coordinated division of labor reflects millions of years of evolutionary refinement, maximizing the survival chances of the next generation in one of Africa's most demanding environments. Beyond their own survival, Maasai ostriches also make an important contribution to the health of Tarangire's ecosystem. As they wander across the grasslands, they disperse countless seeds through their nutrient-rich droppings, helping restore vegetation across the landscape. When the rains finally return, many of those seeds germinate, renewing grasses and shrubs that support countless other species. In this way, the ostrich becomes not merely an inhabitant of the savannah, but one of its quiet gardeners, helping sustain the continuous cycle of renewal that defines Africa's wild landscapes. As the winds sweep across the Busanga plains, they carry with them the dry scent of earth and the ripeness of sun-baked grass. Suddenly, the stillness is broken by a thunderous roar that rolls across the horizon, a proclamation of dominance, a warning, and a reminder of who reigns supreme here, the lion. In this landscape, where life and loss are bound together, the lion's battle is never only for prey. It is for territory, survival, and its rightful place in an ever-shifting world. The lion is more than a hunter. It is a legacy. Fossil and genetic records reveal that their ancestors once roamed across Africa, Asia, and Europe for hundreds of thousands of years. In Busanga today, they remain the cornerstone of the ecosystem, shaping balance through instinct, precision, and strategy. Unlike other big cats, lions are not solitary. They live in prides, complex societies of females, cubs, and coalitions of males, often brothers. Each member has a role, each bond a thread in the tapestry of survival. The mane of a male is more than decoration. It is a banner of power. Dark and thick, it signals health, strength, and the ability to defend the pride against all threats. But it is the lionesses who form the pride's beating heart. They hunt, raise young, and guard one another with a bond as fierce as it is unbreakable. From the mounds that rise above the plains, they wait in silence, watchful silhouettes against the fading light. They do not rush. They do not falter. A herd grazes unknowingly. Slowly, the lionesses move into position. This is no chance encounter, but a choreography refined through generations. The blocker, the flanker, the finisher. And when the moment comes, they strike together. Explosive, precise, unstoppable. A lioness can surge forward at nearly 80 kilometers an hour, her bite force crushing with more than 4,500 newtons. Within moments, the hunt is over. For larger prey, such as buffalo, the males descend with devastating force. Weighing nearly 200 kilograms, their raw power is enough to drag down a full-grown giant. Yet amidst this raw power lies a fragile truth. In recent years, Busanda has offered glimmers of hope. Between 2021 and 2024, lion numbers here average nearly 4 individuals per 100 square kilometers, an estimated 358 lions, adults and cubs alike. Conservation efforts, GPS tracking, protective zones, and anti-poaching measures have lifted survival rates and increased reproduction by nearly 30%. But across Africa, the story is more troubling. Lion populations have plummeted by as much as 3/4 in just half a century. Expanding farms, retaliation for livestock losses, and the illegal wildlife trade continue to drive this regal predator toward vulnerability. Even here in Busanga, the struggle is tangible. In 2022, 2 lionesses were caught in snares, leaving behind 8 cubs. 7 survived thanks to human intervention and were reintroduced into the wild. And still, the lion carries whispers of its past. Cubs are born marked with faint spots, reminders of their patterned kin. Jaguars, leopards, cheetahs. For some, those ghostly markings linger into adulthood, subtle echoes of evolution etched into their skin. The lion is not just an apex predator. It is a living chronicle of survival, of decline, and of hope for redemption in the wild heart of Africa. But in Africa, it's not only the great cats or the fleet-footed cheetah that wear spots as camouflage. Another predator, no less cunning and no less formidable, prowls the land. The spotted hyena, draped in mottled patterns and armed with a mind as sharp as its bite. The lineage of the spotted hyena stretches back nearly 10 million years, when it diverged from its kin and evolved into a master of bone crushing, its immense jaws and teeth forged by evolution's demand. Over millennia, they became some of Africa's most sophisticated hunters, forming powerful clans of more than 100 individuals, all ruled by a dominant alpha female. In this matriarchy, even the lowest-ranking female outranks every male. Status, passed from mother to daughter, dictates access to food, resources, and survival itself. Known also as the laughing hyena, its eerie call echoes across the plains. But the laughter is no expression of joy. It is a piercing scream of stress, a signal of competition over food, carrying for kilometers to summon, warn, or bind the clan together. Still, the story of the spotted hyena does not end with its voice. They are among Africa's most relentless hunters. At dusk, clans watch the herds with calculating patience. Their targets are not random. The weak, the old, and the young are singled out, the loose threads pulled from the fabric of the herd. When the time comes, they strike, sometimes in small groups, creating diversions, other times in full coordination, attacking from multiple angles with a deadly precision. With hearts that make up nearly 1% of their body weight, hyenas can run down prey for kilometers at speeds nearing 60 kilometers an hour, a nightmare that never tires. They do not win with speed alone, but with endurance and strategy. And when they catch their quarry, their bone-crushing bite, reaching up to 4,500 newtons, can shatter even the leg bones of buffalo. Nothing is wasted: hide, tendons, flesh, and marrow. In nature's ruthless economy, not a single scrap is left unused. Often branded as ruthless hunters, the spotted hyena is in truth a keystone of the plains. They control antelope numbers, recycle nutrients from carcasses, and enrich the soil for grasses to flourish. Their very presence keeps herds moving, sparing the land from overgrazing and giving plant life a chance to recover. So who is the ultimate hunter of the Busanda Plains? The cheetah, swift as the wind? The lion, with its pride's unity? Or the hyena, with strategy, endurance, and the most crushing bite of them all? The plains still hold more scavengers in play, smaller than the great predators. Yet, among the craftiest hunters of the region stands the black-backed jackal. This silver-backed canine is living proof of adaptability, light and agile. They stand less than half a meter at the shoulder and weigh no more than 13 kilograms. Armed with sharp teeth and a powerful bite, they hunt a wide array of prey: rodents, hares, birds, reptiles, and even newborn antelope. On rare occasions, jackals have been known to topple an adult impala, and when necessity calls, they join forces, using clever coordination to bring down larger quarry. On the Busanda Plains, they embody the very essence of a flexible predator. Lone hunters of small prey, cooperative pack members for greater challenges, skilled thieves at carcasses, and opportunistic feeders of insects, fruit, and even scraps of waste. Their diet is as varied as their tactics, nearly half from livestock, about a third from wild animals, a share from insects, and the rest from plant matter. Here in Busanga, the black-backed jackal plays many ecological roles: scavengers recycling nutrients, seed dispersers through their droppings, and hunters of antelope that help keep grazing herds in check, protecting the grasslands from being stripped bare. as the first light of dawn spreads across the remaining wetlands of Serengeti, where patches of water shimmer beneath the rising sun. A slender figure moves silently through the reeds, like a ghost. This is the Sitatunga, one of Africa's most elusive antelopes. Although more commonly associated with swamps and papyrus wetlands than the open savanna, it has evolved an extraordinary ability to survive wherever permanent wetlands persist. In a landscape where every remaining pool of water becomes increasingly precious during the dry season, the Sitatunga has mastered the delicate balance between concealment, patience, and adaptation. Every careful step across the soft, marshy ground reflects millions of years of evolution, telling a quiet yet remarkable story of resilience in one of Africa's most challenging environments. A member of the Bovidae family, the Sitatunga traces its evolutionary origins back millions of years, adapting to thrive in marshes and floodplains where balance and agility determine survival. Its long, splayed hooves function like natural snowshoes, distributing body weight across soft, waterlogged ground and allowing it to move effortlessly through terrain that traps many other animals, like a silent boat gliding across still water. The Sitatunga navigates wetlands with remarkable grace. Weighing between 100 and 250 pounds, its body is perfectly adapted for this specialized habitat. Every step minimizes sinking, enabling it to explore swamps and reed beds that remain inaccessible to most predators and competing herbivores. This unique adaptation has allowed the species to occupy one of Africa's most challenging ecological niches. Yet life in these wetlands is far from easy. During Terengere's long dry season, shrinking water sources gradually reduce the size of these marshes, compressing the Sitatunga's refuge into isolated pockets. As open ground expands, predators such as lions, leopards, and spotted hyenas patrol ever closer to the remaining wetlands, turning each journey in search of food into a calculated risk. Blessed with exceptional hearing and large, constantly alert ears, Sitatungas often detect danger long before it becomes visible. Even while concealed among dense reeds and tall grasses, they remain acutely aware of every unfamiliar sound. At the slightest hint of danger, they freeze, listening carefully before deciding their next move. When escape becomes necessary, few antelope possess a more remarkable strategy. Rather than sprinting across open ground, the Sitatunga slips quietly into the water, leaving only its nostrils exposed above the surface. It disappears like a ghost beneath the wetlands, frustrating even the most determined predators. Their remarkable swimming ability serves another vital purpose beyond avoiding danger. Aquatic vegetation, including water grasses, reeds, floating plants, and tender roots, forms a major part of their diet, food resources unavailable to most other grazing mammals. Their highly efficient digestive system extracts maximum nutrition from these tough plants, providing the energy needed to survive the harsh dry season when food becomes increasingly scarce. Now let's turn to the two-legged hunters, no less formidable than their four-legged rivals. Amid the vast expanse of the Busanga Plains, a striking silhouette rises above the grass, the secretary bird. Standing as tall as 1.3 meters, it strides with the elegance of a dancer, moving like a vigilant sentinel across Kafue National Park. Its scientific name translates to archer of snakes, a tribute to its lethal mastery. With a single, lightning-fast kick, this bird can unleash an impact many times greater than its own body weight, striking down venomous snakes with deadly precision. Day after day, the secretary bird patrols the plains, walking for dozens of kilometers, scanning the tall grass with unwavering focus. When danger reveals itself, wings spread wide into a protective shield. Then, with razor-sharp talons and crushing force, it stomps again and again until the serpent lies still. Thick, scaled armor shields its legs from venomous bites. Each stomp, a precise blow from a creature that blends the hooked beak and piercing gaze of an eagle with the tall, graceful stance of a crane. A bizarre, yet beautiful hybrid of ground-based predation. But this icon of Africa faces a peril of its own. Once widespread, the secretary bird is now endangered, its survival threatened by habitat loss and human encroachment. Here on the Busanga Plains, its role is vital. By hunting snakes and small animals, it helps balance the ecosystem and reduce the spread of disease. And with every step across the grasslands, it scatters seeds, quietly sowing life into the soil. The secretary bird, hunter, guardian, and gardener of the plains. Extending from the northern wetlands, the Lunga and Lufupa rivers carve their way through the Miombo woodlands at the heart of Kafue National Park, forming an ecological corridor that links dry savanna to floodplain grasslands. The Lufupa feeds the Busanga Plains from the northwest, while the Lunga marks a boundary where two ecosystems meet. These rivers, flowing year-round, sustain the soils, turning this region into a biological powerhouse, fueling migrations, predation, and reproduction in sync with the shifting seasons. As dawn light filters through the Miombo canopy, a call pierces the air from upriver, an echo so haunting it seems to stir the wilderness itself. High-pitched, resonant, and timeless, it blends with wind and water to create a natural anthem, the voice of Africa. It is the unmistakable cry of the African fish eagle, one of the most iconic sounds in sub-Saharan Africa. Living along permanent waterways like the Luda and Lufupa, the fish eagle has thrived since the late Pliocene, honed by evolution to master the semi-aquatic landscape. With wings spanning up to 2.4 meters, the female towers larger and stronger than the male. Her pure white head and chest blaze against her dark wings and chestnut back, an emblem of strength and clarity against the sky. From above, eyes sharper than any hunters scan the water, tuned to detect the faintest flicker beneath the surface. At the slightest ripple, she plunges. No sound, no warning, just a straight fall, like an arrow loosed from a bow. Talons snap open midair, their rough spicules locking tight on a fish's slippery scales. With barely a touch of the surface, the eagle rises again, prey in grasp, vanishing into the sky as if it had never descended. Its yellow beak, tipped in black, is the perfect scalpel, dispatching prey with cold precision and breathtaking speed. No wasted effort, no drawn-out struggle. Though fish are its main quarry, the African fish eagle is nothing if not adaptable. When waters thin, it hunts water birds, lizards, even the young of crocodiles. Opportunistic and bold, it will even steal from other hunters. This versatility ensures survival through the shifting tides of fortune. In the riverlands of Lunga and Lufupa, many eagles remain year-round. Each pair chooses its fortress, a fork high in a strong tree, more than 10 meters above ground. Branch by branch, lined with leaves and moss, their nest grows over the years into a vast cradle, sometimes 2 meters across, over a meter deep. High in the Miombo canopy, these fortresses endure as symbols of partnership. The pair mates for life, defending their territory and raising their young together, season after season. If the ostrich is the world's largest bird, then the Kori bustard holds another impressive distinction as the heaviest bird capable of sustained flight. Weighing up to 40 pounds and boasting a wingspan approaching 9 feet, these magnificent birds stride across Tarangir's grasslands with the calm authority of true monarchs of the savannah. Their evolutionary history stretches back millions of years to ancient ground-dwelling birds that gradually favored life on land over frequent flight. This evolutionary path rewarded them with immense size, powerful muscles, and exceptional endurance, traits perfectly suited for surviving Africa's demanding open landscapes. Their long, muscular legs are built for covering vast distances with surprising efficiency, allowing them to patrol dry grasslands while conserving precious energy. Although fully capable of flight, Kori bustards rarely take to the air unless absolutely necessary, as lifting such a massive body requires an enormous expenditure of energy. In Tarangir's unforgiving dry season, where both food and water become increasingly scarce, Kori bustards display extraordinary adaptability. Their varied diet includes large insects such as grasshoppers and beetles, as well as lizards, small snakes, rodents, and occasionally young birds, allowing them to exploit a wide range of food sources throughout the year. Each slow, deliberate stride conceals the precision of a skilled hunter. As they move through the dry grasses, hidden prey is flushed into the open, and with lightning-fast precision, their powerful beaks seize the opportunity. Patience, timing, and remarkable accuracy transform every hunt into a masterclass in efficiency. Despite their impressive size, Kori bustards remain vulnerable to formidable predators including lions, leopards, and spotted hyenas. To survive, they rely on an effective combination of camouflage and calculated restraint. When danger approaches, they often remain perfectly motionless, trusting their intricately patterned brown and gray plumage to blend seamlessly into the dry savanna. They can burst into a surprisingly powerful flight over short distances, or defend themselves with devastating kicks from their long, muscular legs, blows capable of inflicting serious injuries on smaller predators. The ecological role of the Kori bustard extends far beyond its own survival. By feeding on insects, reptiles, and other small animals, these giant birds help regulate populations that might otherwise grow unchecked, contributing to the delicate ecological balance that sustains Tarangiri's extraordinary diversity of life. During the dry season, as Kori bustards roam the grasslands in search of food, they unknowingly contribute to the regeneration of the savanna. Seeds consumed with fruits and vegetation pass through their digestive system before being scattered across the landscape in nutrient-rich droppings. When the rains finally return, many of these seeds germinate, helping restore the vegetation that sustains countless other species. With every deliberate stride, the Kori bustard does more than simply survive. It quietly shapes the landscape itself, playing a subtle yet essential role in maintaining the resilience of one of Africa's most fragile ecosystems. As dawn breaks over Tarangire, the deep, resonant calls of the southern ground hornbill echo across the dry grasslands. Rather than ruling the skies, these remarkable birds have evolved to dominate life on the ground, standing nearly 4 feet tall and supported by powerful legs. They patrol the savanna with slow, confident strides through a world where survival is decided one encounter at a time. According to the IUCN, the southern ground hornbill is currently classified as vulnerable, a reminder that even one of Africa's most iconic birds faces an increasingly uncertain future. Unlike most hornbills, these birds spend the majority of their lives on the ground. Powerful bills probe beneath dry soil, overturn leaf litter, and pry apart fallen logs in search of insects, lizards, snakes, rodents, and other small vertebrates. Every movement is deliberate, conserving precious energy in an environment where every meal matters. Their hunting technique is quiet, methodical, and remarkably efficient. Patiently stalking their prey, they wait for the perfect moment before delivering a swift, crushing strike with their powerful beak. It is a hunting style built not on speed, but on precision, timing, and overwhelming force. Southern ground hornbills are also among Africa's most social bird species. They live in small family groups, usually composed of a dominant breeding pair and several adult helpers, often offspring from previous years. This cooperative lifestyle allows them to defend territories, locate food more efficiently, and raise chicks with a level of teamwork rarely seen among birds. Their deep social bonds have evolved over millions of years, becoming one of the species' greatest survival advantages in the harsh and unpredictable conditions of the African savanna. Perhaps their most unforgettable feature is their voice. Their deep, booming calls can travel more than 2 miles across the open plains, serving both as territorial declarations and as communication between family members. Long before the birds themselves come into view, their haunting voices announce their presence across the awakening landscape. Standing beneath the vast African sky, they exchange these powerful calls in a timeless chorus that has echoed across the savanna for countless generations. A reminder that in nature, every sound carries meaning, and every voice plays a role in survival. After months of relentless heat and relentless drought, the first rains finally arrive. Across Tanzania, the rainy season sweeps over the landscape like the opening movement of a grand symphony, awakening an ecosystem that has patiently endured the long, dry months. Gentle showers gradually spread a vibrant green carpet across the endless plains of the Serengeti, the ancient woodlands of Turangire, and the rich wetlands of Ruaha. This transformation is far more than a change in scenery. It is nature's signal that life can begin anew, triggering one of the greatest seasonal revivals on Earth. As the first seasonal rains sweep across northern Tanzania, Lake Manyara awakens like a jewel polished by the sky itself. Nestled within the Great Rift Valley, about 75 miles southwest of Arusha, the lake stretches beneath towering escarpments, reflecting clouds, forests, and distant mountains in its shimmering surface. Covering an average area of approximately 89 square miles, Lake Manyara can expand to more than 120 square miles during exceptionally wet years. Rising water levels flood the surrounding plains, while the shallow alkaline waters create ideal conditions for aquatic plants, algae, and countless microscopic organisms that form the foundation of an extraordinarily productive ecosystem. As floodwaters spread across the shoreline, new grasslands emerge almost overnight, attracting wildlife from every corner of the region. Viewed from above, Lake Manyara resembles a living masterpiece, emerald vegetation blending with shimmering blue water, while vast flocks of pink flamingos paint brilliant ribbons of color across the lake's tranquil surface. It is one of East Africa's most spectacular displays of renewal, where the arrival of rain transforms an entire landscape into a thriving sanctuary of life. The abundant waters breathe new life into Lake Manyara's great mammals. Pods of hippos spend the daylight hours submerged in the cool shallows, surfacing only to breathe before disappearing once again beneath the water. As night falls, they emerge to graze across the surrounding grasslands, transporting nutrients between land and water, and playing a vital role in maintaining the productivity of the lake's ecosystem. With the arrival of the rainy season, Lake Manyara undergoes one of East Africa's most spectacular transformations. Its shallow alkaline waters become a vibrant sanctuary, drawing immense flocks of flamingos that spread across the lake like a living ribbon of pink. Their constant calls drift over the water, blending into the rich chorus of a landscape reborn by rain. The evolutionary history of the greater flamingo stretches back millions of years to ancestors specially adapted for life in alkaline lakes and saline wetlands. Few birds are capable of thriving in such chemically demanding environments. Yet flamingos have transformed these seemingly inhospitable waters into one of nature's greatest feeding grounds. Standing nearly 5 feet tall, their elongated legs allow them to wade effortlessly through shallow water and soft mud, while their lightweight bodies conserve energy during long migrations between East Africa's alkaline lakes. Their most remarkable adaptation lies within their distinctive downward curving bills. Equipped with thousands of microscopic filtering structures called lamellae, these specialized beaks strain blue-green algae, diatoms, tiny crustaceans, and other microscopic organisms from the mineral-rich water. The carotenoid pigments contained in this diet gradually produce the brilliant pink plumage that has become the flamingo's unmistakable signature. As seasonal rains replenish Lake Manyara, conditions become increasingly favorable for large flamingo populations. Rising water levels stimulate explosive blooms of algae and aquatic microorganisms, providing an abundant food supply that attracts vast numbers of birds from across the East African Rift Valley. For many flamingos, the lake serves as an essential feeding ground before they move to more suitable breeding sites elsewhere in the Rift Valley. Although breeding occasionally occurs under exceptional conditions, most East African greater flamingos nest primarily at lakes such as Natron, where isolated mudflats offer greater protection for their colonies. Their highly social nature has become one of the species' greatest evolutionary strengths. Flocks numbering tens or even hundreds of thousands of birds provide increased protection from predators, such as African fish eagles, while also improving communication, navigation, and the coordination of seasonal movements. Within these immense gatherings, synchronized displays, rhythmic calls, and coordinated movements reinforce social bonds and play an important role during courtship. Seen from above, thousands of flamingos moving together resemble a single living organism, each individual contributing to the harmony of the flock. Their feeding behavior is one of nature's finest examples of evolutionary specialization. With their heads held upside down beneath the surface, flamingos rhythmically pump water through their finely adapted bills, filtering microscopic algae and aquatic organisms with extraordinary efficiency. This specialized diet does more than sustain life. The carotenoid pigments absorbed from their food gradually color their feathers, and during the breeding season, individuals displaying the richest pink plumage often signal superior health, making them more attractive to potential mates. Beyond their remarkable beauty, greater flamingos perform an essential ecological role within Lake Manyara. By consuming vast quantities of algae and microscopic organisms, they help regulate primary productivity, contributing to the delicate balance that sustains the lake's unique alkaline ecosystem. As thousands of birds wade through the shallows, their movements gently stir bottom sediments, recycling nutrients throughout the water column and supporting countless other forms of aquatic life. Even their daily feeding activity contributes to the remarkable productivity of this extraordinary wetland. Beneath the surface of the Lunga and Lufupa rivers lies more than the small fish hunted by the African fish eagle. Hidden in the depths drifts a true giant, the Nile crocodile. Here, individuals rank among the largest anywhere on the continent. Adults in the Lufupa can stretch over 5 meters and weigh more than 700 kilograms, while a few exceptional males exceed 6 meters. Silent leviathans, moving just beneath the water's skin. Their strength is not only in size, but in design. The jaw muscles that close are among the most powerful in the animal kingdom, able to shatter bone with a single snap. By contrast, the muscles that open are weak, an evolutionary paradox that makes the bite devastating but the jaws easy to restrain. In these rivers, flowing year-round, crocodiles command a perfect ambush ground. They wait motionless for hours, only eyes, ears, and nostrils breaking the surface, indistinguishable from floating logs among papyrus and reeds. When wildebeest, buffalo, or zebra come to drink, the stillness erupts. A sudden surge underwater at 12 to 14 kilometers an hour, jaws clamping, prey dragged beneath. For larger kills, they unleash the infamous death roll, a violent spin that tears bodies into swallowable pieces. Yet these reptiles are more than solitary assassins. A hidden social order rules the banks. The largest males dominate prime sandbars where sun meets easy access to prey. Sometimes, when fish gather in the shallows, multiple crocodiles cooperate, sweeping forward in a semicircle to herd their quarry. Along the Lufupa's slower waters, this cooperative hunting can turn rivers into traps. Their voices are as varied as their behavior, from the thunderous bellows of males vibrating across the floodplain, to the faint, high-pitched chirps of hatchlings calling from inside their shells. Reproduction reveals their most surprising side. Each season, females dig nests above the floodline, then guard them fiercely against monitor lizards and hyenas. When the young are ready to emerge, their calls summon the mother, who responds with extraordinary gentleness, lifting them in her massive jaws and carrying them to the safety of shallow water. Long after, she lingers, guarding them for weeks, sometimes months. In a reptile world defined by cold instinct, such care is rare. But even these giants are bound by delicate balances. The heat of the sand decides the fate of their offspring. Cooler nests produce females, warmer nests, males. Small shifts in temperature can tip entire generations. As the climate warms, the balance grows precarious. And threats reach beyond the climate. Pollutants carried downstream accumulate in their tissues. Traces of mercury, absorbed by fish, magnified in the food chain, now course through their blood. Levels recorded in some populations are among the highest ever measured in any crocodilian, a warning signal that these ancient predators are also barometers of the river's health. As the Nile crocodiles lie in wait beneath the still waters, another figure watches from above. Towering on long legs, draped in stark black and white, the marabou stork surveys the floodplain, a giant scavenger that embodies nature's stark dualities, both grotesque and majestic. Nicknamed the Undertaker, it cuts an unmistakable silhouette. A bald head and bare pink neck, adaptations for hygienic carcasses, contrast with a vast wingspan that can stretch beyond 3 meters. Standing 1.5 meters tall, weighing up to 9 kilograms, it is built for both patience and endurance. Along the Lunga and Lufupa rivers, they gather at dawn and dusk, roosting in tall trees or waiting motionless by the banks. From here, they scan for opportunity. They are nature's cleanup crew, tearing into the remains of antelope, elephants, or crocodile kills with hooked beaks, recycling death back into life. But scavenger is only part of their story. When food demands rise, particularly in breeding season, their menu expands. Fish, frogs, snakes, fledglings, even the hatchlings of crocodiles themselves. Opportunism becomes strategy, and their kleptoparasitic cunning often sees them stealing meals from vultures or herons. Their aerial grace is no less striking. Hollow bones lighten their bodies, turning them into effortless gliders, riding thermals for hours. Though macabre at a carcass, in the skies they soar with elegance. Marabou storks are highly social, clustering wherever food is abundant, on riverbanks, abattoirs, even landfills. This adaptability has allowed some populations to flourish, but it carries new risks. Plastics and heavy metals infiltrate their diet, seeping into the chain of life they help maintain. In Zambia's Mumbo region, riverside thickets provide roosts and nesting grounds. Their nests, rough platforms of branches, are often reused year after year, binding generations to the same trees. After a month of incubation, chicks emerge, dependent on parents until they fledge. They will not breed until around 4 years of age, but in the wild may live for 1/4 of a century. Their ecological role is profound. By stripping carcasses clean, they limit the spread of disease. By feeding live prey to their young, they close the loop of predator and scavenger. They are both undertakers and sustainers of the plains. Globally, they are listed as a species of least concern. Yet in parts of West Africa, numbers are falling sharply, a reminder that even the undertaker is not beyond mortality. In the soft light of dawn over Lake Manyara, beads of dew shimmer across emerald grasslands, while a veil of mist drifts above the wetlands. Emerging gracefully through this tranquil landscape is one of East Africa's most elegant birds, the gray-crowned crane. Its magnificent golden crown, resembling an ornate royal diadem, is far more than a symbol of beauty. It is the product of millions of years of evolution, reflecting a lineage that has perfected the delicate balance between grace, vigilance, and survival in Africa's ever-changing wetlands. Amid the vibrant pulse of the Great Migration, where immense herds of wildebeest, zebras, and Thompson's gazelles surge across the Serengeti like a living river, another predator silently enters the stage. Unlike lions that rely on overwhelming power, or hyenas that dominate through endurance and brute force, African wild dogs have perfected an entirely different strategy. Every hunt is a masterpiece of teamwork, precision, and relentless coordination. With one of the highest hunting success rates of any large terrestrial predator, often exceeding 80%, they demonstrate that intelligence, communication, and cooperation can be far more powerful than sheer strength alone. Descended from ancient canines that evolved on Africa's expanding grasslands nearly 2 million years ago, African wild dogs developed exceptionally long limbs, lean muscular bodies, and remarkable stamina. Adults weigh between 40 and 80 pounds, making them considerably lighter than lions or hyenas. Yet their athletic build allows them to maintain speeds approaching 44 miles per hour over long distances. Rather than relying on explosive bursts of speed, they exhaust their prey through relentless pursuit, turning endurance into one of nature's most effective hunting weapons. Every individual within the pack has a clearly defined role. Experienced adults lead the chase. Younger members flank fleeing prey to cut off escape routes, while others anticipate sudden turns with extraordinary precision. Throughout the pursuit, they communicate constantly through chirps, squeaks, and high-pitched contact calls, enabling the entire pack to react almost instantly. This seamless coordination transforms a group of individuals into a single, highly efficient predator, capable of overwhelming animals far larger than themselves. The abundance of herbivores brought by the Great Migration creates an unparalleled hunting opportunity. Young wildebeest, injured zebras, and exhausted gazelles become the primary targets, allowing the pack to maximize energy while minimizing unnecessary risk. Unlike many predators that may spend days without a successful kill, African wild dogs hunt frequently, ensuring a dependable food supply for every member of the family. Their extraordinary efficiency not only sustains the pack, but also reduces prolonged suffering for their prey, as most hunts end remarkably quickly. Yet survival in the Serengeti is never guaranteed. Lions frequently kill wild dogs to eliminate competition, while spotted hyenas often steal their hard-earned meals through sheer numerical advantage. For this reason, speed is essential, not only during the hunt, but also afterward. Packs consume their prey with astonishing rapidity, often finishing a carcass within minutes before larger predators arrive to claim the remains. Their social structure is among the most cooperative in the animal kingdom. Every successful hunt benefits the entire pack, and food is willingly shared with injured adults, nursing females, and pups waiting safely at the den. Even individuals returning from a hunt will regurgitate meat to feed those unable to participate, ensuring that no member is left behind. This remarkable level of altruism strengthens the bonds that make the pack one of Africa's most formidable hunting forces. Beyond their role as predators, African wild dogs are indispensable architects of ecological balance. By primarily removing the weak, the sick, and the vulnerable, they help maintain healthier herbivore populations while limiting the spread of disease. The remains of their kills sustain vultures, jackals, insects, and countless scavengers, recycling nutrients back into the soil. In the vast Serengeti, every successful hunt echoes far beyond the predator and its prey, becoming another vital thread in the intricate web of life that keeps this extraordinary ecosystem in balance. world's largest semi-enclosed sea, the cradle of Western civilization. A living treasure, cradled between desert and continent. The Mediterranean Sea. It covers less than 1% of the planet's ocean surface, yet shelters more than 17,000 marine species. Remarkably, nearly a third of them exist nowhere else on Earth. Before we journey deeper into this extraordinary realm, share with us where you're watching from in the comments. It's always a privilege to connect across the globe. Now, let's descend into the Mediterranean, unveiling the hidden secrets of a sea that has long stood at the crossroads of continents. Beneath the calm surface of the Mediterranean, an intense world unfolds every second. Atlantic bluefin tuna, the fastest in the ocean, rocket forward like steel arrows, slicing through schools of anchovies with deadly precision. In the west, orcas rise, nature's most strategic hunters, emerging like silent nightmares. At 1,000 meters down, sperm whales prowl the darkness in search of giant squid, guided by sonar that echoes through the deep. The great white shark, rare but formidable, drifts past like a ghost. A single bite enough to end a life. Among coral reefs, lionfish spread their venomous fins, beautiful but invasive, unraveling the balance of the native food web. These are glimpses of the survival maze that is the Mediterranean. Nestled between three continents, where Europe meets Africa and Asia, lies the Mediterranean. A living sea sculpted by geology, time, and history itself. It stretches across 2.5 million square kilometers, its coastline an astonishing 46,000 kilometers, the world's largest semi-enclosed sea. Through the narrow throat of Gibraltar, it connects to the Atlantic. Here, Europe and Africa almost touch, just 14 kilometers apart. The Mediterranean's past is written in upheaval. 5.9 million years ago, it almost vanished. The Messinian salinity crisis. Cut off from the ocean, the basin became a wasteland of salt flats and shallow, briny lakes. And then a cataclysm, the Zanclean flood. Waters from the Atlantic thundered back in, refilling the sea in only a few short years. A torrent, 1,000 times the flow of the Amazon. Most life was wiped out. Only 11% survived. It would take nearly 2 million years for biodiversity to recover. Today, the Mediterranean stands as one of Earth's great biodiversity hotspots. Its climate, hot, dry summers, mild, wet winters, shapes coasts, currents, and rainfall. Here dwell more than 17,000 marine species, over 11,000 invertebrates, hundreds of fish, marine mammals, sea turtles, seabirds, each a piece of this intricate web of life. But this abundance is fragile. Nearly 1,000 invasive species, many slipping through the Suez Canal, now tip the balance. Layer on climate change, pollution, overexploitation. The Mediterranean, a sea of wonders, under siege. Amid the cool blue waters, a splash of color. The Atlantic puffin. Nicknamed the clown of the sea, its beak painted in reds, oranges, yellows, and slate gray, a look so vivid, it feels hand-drawn. But this palette is fleeting. In winter, the colors fade, as if the bird itself slips back into shadow. And that beak is no decoration. Inside, spines and grooves lock fish in place. A single puffin can dive, catch, and neatly stack over 10 fish at once. On land it waddles, round-bodied, almost comical. But beneath the surface, it transforms. Wings become paddles, webbed feet rudders. It dives to 60 meters, holding its breath for half a minute, weaving through swirling currents in pursuit of fish. During migration, puffins ride winds and currents in search of rich waters. The Alboran Sea, healed by its endless upwelling, offers exactly that. A buffet of small fish born from blooms of plankton. By hunting mid-depth, where competition is low and prey is plenty, puffins feed quickly, then rest, bobbing on the surface, efficient, precise, a master of energy and survival. Now, we dive deeper beneath the waves. Beneath the sunlit surface, vast meadows sway, seagrass forests of Posidonia oceanica, known as Mediterranean tapeweed. Ancient. Endemic. A plant that blooms underwater, unlike almost any other. These green plains are more than scenery. They lock away carbon, they breathe out oxygen, and they shelter entire communities of fish, invertebrates, even seabirds that depend on the life they spark. But growth here is painfully slow, only a few centimeters each year, an anchor's drag, or a spill of pollution, damage that can take decades to heal. In deeper shadows, oyster colonies work on their own timescale. Century by century, they stack limestone into massive reefs, coral-like citadels in waters untouched by light. Drifting across these hidden meadows comes a giant of another kind, the loggerhead sea turtle. Its oversized head, more than a mark of identity. Inside, a jaw built like a vice. One of the strongest bites of any sea turtle. Enough to crush clams, crabs, and hard-shelled prey that most others cannot touch. These rich meals fuel epic migrations. In the Pacific, some loggerheads travel 14,500 kilometers, from Japan to Mexico. Here in the Mediterranean, the journeys are shorter, but just as relentless, navigating currents, deep channels, and seas crowded with fishing nets. Their compass, the Earth's magnetic field itself, a natural map still only partly understood. Every loggerhead's life begins in mystery. Hatchlings vanish into the open sea for what biologists call the lost years. 7, 15 years, carried by major currents, hiding among floating mats of sargassum. Feeding, growing, surviving. By adulthood, they return. Heavier than a man, shells nearly a meter long, capable of living 6 decades or more. And in one of nature's most haunting cycles, a female may crawl back to the same stretch of sand where she once hatched, to bury her own eggs in the moonlit shore. Today, the Western Mediterranean has become one of their crucial havens. Upwellings in the Alboran Sea drive food chains into overdrive, swelling with small fish and crustaceans, perfect hunting grounds for the loggerhead's crushing bite. While the loggerhead turtle scours the seafloor below, another presence drifts in the sunlit waters above. The ocean sunfish, a gentle giant with a body like a drifting disc, basking in the Western Mediterranean with quiet, mysterious calm. Shaped as though half a fish were cut adrift, it lacks a true tail. Instead, a strange rudder, the clavis, replaces what evolution has taken away. Its huge vertical fins row awkwardly, more drifting than swimming. Yet this slow traveler is immense, up to 2,700 kilograms, the heaviest bony fish on Earth. Inside that massive frame lies a tiny mouth with fused teeth, a beak designed not for power, but for soft-bodied prey. Jellyfish, squid, shrimp, a diet as delicate as the creature itself. By day, sunfish linger near the surface, drawn to stable warmth and rich feeding grounds. In the Alboran Sea and around the Balearic Islands, cold upwellings deliver banquets of plankton and jellyfish. Morning often brings their signature ritual, floating on one side beneath the rising sun, a moment to warm after deep, chilly dives, and to invite seabirds and cleaner fish to pluck parasites from their leathery skin. Though awkward, they are not idle. Tagged individuals reveal surprising journeys, traveling more than 8 kilometers a day, up to 4,000 kilometers in a single year. They move as solitary wanderers of the ocean's surface, quiet, unhurried, a stark contrast to the chatter of dolphins or the ferocity of predators below. But deeper down in the twilight layers, another presence stirs, the Risso's dolphin, its body a canvas of silver gray etched with white scars. At birth, their skin glows light brown or pale gray, but time leaves its signature. Every clash, every dive, every encounter writes a mark upon the body. Scratches from rival teeth, scars from the grasp of squid. By adulthood, many appear almost ghostly white, their lives written into their skin. Stocky and powerful, 3 to 4 meters long, weighing nearly half a ton. A tall curved fin rises from their back, a blunt head with no beak, and in the lower jaw, only a handful of teeth. Unmistakable. This body is the product of a singular evolution, built for night, built for squid. In the Western Mediterranean, where the seabed plunges into deep canyons, Risso's dolphins patrol the shelf edge, where prey is richest. By day, the sea is quiet. By night, the hunt begins. Squid rise, dolphins follow. In darkness, they see with sound, plunging hundreds of meters into the black. Some spiral downward in spin dives, corkscrewing through the depths, reducing drag, conserving energy. An elegant solution to crushing pressure. Survey data from Catalonia reveals their secretive lives. Densities as low as 0.0078 per square kilometer. Sited far from shore, over waters deeper than 1,700 meters. And yet, where food is plentiful, they gather in multitudes. Groups of 10, sometimes 50, or in rare moments, superpods of thousands. Photo IDs confirm their fidelity. 364 distinct individuals reappearing in the same waters, year after year. Here, submarine canyons lift deep waters upward, funneling squid toward the light, an ocean engine sustaining life. But specialization comes at a cost. Dependence on this fragile habitat leaves Risso's dolphins acutely vulnerable. Noise from shipping, sonar, and drilling disrupts their echolocation, the very sense they need to survive. The result? Strandings, bodies on European shores, echoes of an unseen battle beneath the waves. Diving deeper, beyond the waters where the Risso's dolphin faded from view, another giant takes the stage. The Atlantic bluefin tuna, the largest, the most powerful of them all. In the ocean's grand design, they are speed-made flesh, machines of muscle, built to never stop moving, always fighting to survive and to spawn. Adults can reach 3.2 meters in length, tipping the scales at nearly 900 kilos. Inside, a heat exchange system, the remarkably, keeps their muscles warm, 10 to 15 degrees hotter than the water around them. Even at depths beyond 500 meters, where most fish slow, they remain fast. Relentless. Their bodies are engines of motion, cruising at 40 kilometers an hour, exploding past 70 in a sudden blur. Yet speed is only part of their story. The greater marvel is the journey. Born in just two places, the Gulf of Mexico and the Western Mediterranean, from the Balearic Islands and the Alboran Sea, young tuna cross the vast Atlantic, feeding in northern waters. 4 to 6 years later, they return to the very place of their birth. Satellite tags reveal the truth. Nearly 70% find their way home, defying currents, storms, and shifting seas. Each summer, from May to July, they spawn when the water is perfect. A single female, up to 10 million eggs. Yet fewer than 1% survive. The future of the species hangs by a thread. Coastal Spain, western Sicily, cool, oxygen-rich waters, stable currents. These are the nurseries of giants. But giants draw a price. On Tokyo's markets, one fish has sold for $3 million. The belly, toro, buttery, delicate, and coveted as one of the world's finest delicacies. And humans are not the only hunters. Orcas, too, know the taste of bluefin. Beneath the dark waters of the Alboran Sea, orcapods patrol the tuna grounds, the same waters where fishermen set their ancient traps. With razor hearing and precision tactics, they circle the giants of the deep, Atlantic bluefin, renowned for their speed, feared for their strength. When a tuna is hooked, orcas hover close, patient, calculating, waiting for the moment the fish breaks the surface, to steal it in a single strike. To hunt a bluefin takes hours, endurance, coordination, but stealing from humans, that takes a different kind of power, intelligence. Their brains rival the size of an elephant's. Their neocortex, wired for empathy, memory, even grief. The killer whale is in truth the ocean's largest dolphin, an apex predator that split from its kin 2 million years ago. In the Western Mediterranean, orcas are rare, 40 to 60 individuals, 5 stable pods. Each one tracked by the scars on their fins and the dialects in their voices. These pods speak in unique languages, regional cultures passed down across generations. Led by elder matriarchs, they carry knowledge like a living archive, migration routes, hunting strategies, the unwritten map of the sea. Young orcas never leave their mother's side. Together, they move through Gibraltar Straits like shadows, ancient spirits etched in black and white, guardians of memory in a changing sea, and their power does not end with tuna. Even the fiercest sharks fall within their reach. No radar, no signal, just a pale shadow sliding beneath the surface, and gone. Even in seas as familiar as the Mediterranean, the sight of a great white shark unsettles the soul. Cold, black eyes, serrated teeth, a scarred body honed into a weapon. It can reach 7 meters, 2 tons of muscle and power, streamlined, precise, a predator built for speed. Inside, a hidden engine, blood vessels that trap heat, keeping muscles, eyes, even the stomach warmer than the surrounding sea. The result, sharper vision, faster reflexes, and bursts of speed over 50 kilometers per hour. And its weapons don't stop there. Across the snout lie tiny pores, sensors that can detect the faintest heartbeat, even through sand, even in darkness. Its jaws hold 300 teeth, arranged in endless rotating rows. When it strikes, the attack is sudden, vertical, devastating. A bite strong enough to shatter bone. The kill, swift, brutal, impossible to escape. The great white rules the ocean's food chain, but there is one rival, the orca. When these titans meet, the battle is not of teeth or speed, but of strategy. Orcas flit sharks onto their backs, exploiting a moment of helpless stillness, then strike with surgical precision at the liver, the richest prize of all. Here, even the great white becomes prey. Yet the shark faces an enemy more relentless than the orca: us. Slow to reproduce, females give birth only once every few years. Add bycatch, finning, and trade, and their numbers have plummeted. In the Mediterranean, the population has collapsed by 96% in a century. Today, the great white is classified as critically endangered, a giant on the brink of vanishing. Unlike the sudden, ghostly rise of the great white, the blue shark drifts more openly through the seas. Often seen, yet still a mystery. It keeps its distance from shore. Year-round it haunts the western Mediterranean, shifting with the seasons like a tide of shadows. Satellite tags reveal its secret map. From May to October, it gathers in the Alboran Sea and the deep waters off the Balearic Islands. Here, currents collide. Here, the ocean is rich. A survivor from the late Cretaceous, over 60 million years ago, the blue shark belongs to an ancient bloodline of wanderers. Unlike the hunters of coast or abyss, this predator was forged for the open sea. It never settles. It never stops. Its body is a gradient of ocean hues: indigo back, turquoise flanks, silver white belly, countershaded to vanish from above and below. Even its skin bends the light itself. Guanine crystals scattering blue while swallowing all other colors. And then, through the dim blue midwaters, something shimmers. A slender silhouette, 3 meters of speed and stamina, sliding past like a streak of cold light. The blue shark. It does not lurk. It sweeps. Fin by fin, it signs the ocean with effortless grace, every sense tuned to the faintest pulse of life. From hundreds of meters away, a single trace of blood is enough. The hunt begins. A school of mackerel scatters. The dorsal fin breaks the surface. The body explodes forward. Small, razor teeth flash. In seconds, the sea swallows the evidence. Even in birth, the blue shark overwhelms. A single mother may deliver more than 100 pups, tiny replicas, fully formed. Yet most will never see adulthood. The open sea is merciless, and still, the greater threat is human, valued for their fins. Blue sharks have become one of the most heavily harvested species in the world's oceans. Here in the western Mediterranean, the blue shark remains a living thread in the web of ocean life, a wanderer of deep rhythms, a symbol of the sea's vast, unbroken reach. As the blue shark cuts the sea like a blade, far below, at 300 to 500 meters, another shape rises, a colossal silhouette. The fin whale, the greyhound of the ocean. Graceful, yet immense, stretching to 24 meters, weighing 70 tons. Each season it follows the Mediterranean's hidden highways, chasing nutrient-rich waters before drifting north to France or east to the Levantine Basin. Despite its bulk, the body is streamlined, hydrodynamic. At full tilt, it surges past 37 kilometers an hour, sometimes over 46. A giant, moving with the speed of predators half its size. Its head holds a secret, an asymmetrical jaw, white on the right, dark on the left. No other mammal wears such a mask. Scientists believe it dazzles schools of fish, feeding the whale's signature tactic, lunge feeding. A sudden burst, the jaws yawn open, engulfing 70 tons of water and prey in one immense gulp. The mouth closes. A ton the size of a car drives water through baleen plates, straining out hundreds of kilos of food, all of it in under 10 seconds. This is not a hunter in the classic sense. It is a living filter. Each day, one whale consumes nearly 2 tons of plankton and fish, recycling carbon, reshaping the sea's invisible balance. And its voice, deeper than thunder. Fin whales sing at 16 to 40 hertz, most of it below human hearing. These 20 hertz pulses roll through the Mediterranean for hundreds, even thousands of kilometers, messages cast into the deep. Their movements are guided by the seasons, by shifting waters, but also by human presence. Summer draws them to shelf edges where krill blooms rise from the depths. Winter drives some eastward, while others linger in the Alboran Sea. Yet their path is perilous. Ship strikes, deadly, frequent, claim lives in the busy lanes from Gibraltar to Marseille and Genoa. Each month, collisions leave whales with broken spines, unseen casualties of commerce. Noise, plastic, and warming seas weigh heavily on their future. And still, there is hope. Protected now under international law, the whales find refuge in sanctuaries where ship-free corridors and speed limits give them space. The giants still roam, their voices still echo, symbols of endurance, embodiments of the sea's vast, unbroken song. Leaving behind the cool, oxygen-rich waters of the West, the current drifts east into the central Mediterranean. Here, the sea stretches from Sardinia and southern Italy, past Malta, down to the coasts of Libya and Tunisia. Within its reach lie the Tyrrhenian Sea, the Ionian and the Sicilian Channel, and in its depths, Calixo Deep, more than 5,100 meters beneath the waves, the very floor of the Mediterranean. Waters here swing from 13 to 26 degrees Celsius, saltier than the West, and shaped by swirling eddies around the Strait of Sicily. These hidden spirals draw nutrients up from the dark, fueling life at the surface. Sardines, anchovies, bluefin tuna, even striped dolphins. And yet this slow traveler is immense. In the heart of the Central Basin, surface waters darken into rich indigo. It's here that striped dolphins appear, their pods moving like choreographed dancers, dozens, sometimes hundreds, surfacing and diving in perfect rhythm. Slender, swift, with black stripes tracing from eye to flank, they favor the deep, waters more than 1,000 meters down. From Sardinia to Malta, Libya to Tunisia, they weave through the eddies, never alone, always in motion. Not solitary hunters, but high-speed performers. Fishers call them streakers, for the way they dart across the surface like silver bolts. Surveys tell us their numbers: 10,000 in the Gulf of Taranto, another 1,300 in the Gulf of Corinth. But to see them rise and vanish again into indigo, numbers hardly matter. Beneath the deep blue surface, striped dolphins explode into motion. Leaping 6, even 7 meters high, twisting midair, ballet dancers of the sea. On the ocean's quiet canvas, every leap is a brushstroke. Behind the beauty lies structure. These dolphins live in vast pods, shifting through a fusion-fission society. Youngsters in their own groups, adults dividing into reproductive and non-reproductive circles. Each role defined: hunters, sentinels, guides. Their voices? Clicks. Whistles, bursts, knit this society together. Not just sound, but the very architecture of their world. At night, they plunge, beyond 500 meters, into the mesopelagic zone, where squid and fish rise from the dark. Guided by echolocation, their hunts align with the great upward migration of prey. By day, they retreat to quieter depths, still hidden, still safe. But safety is eroded. Industrial fishing, vessel traffic, noise, piece by piece. Their traditional gathering grounds are vanishing. Migration paths dissolve into memory. And there is another threat. Bottlenose dolphins. Once neighbors, now rivals. Forensic records reveal nearly a third of striped dolphin deaths marked by violent encounters. Competition for space turning deadly. A warning of imbalance. Yet resilience remains. Monitoring programs show recovery is possible. Given protection, striped dolphins endure, social, agile. Precise, resisting the pressures of a changing sea. And still, in the indigo silence, they rise again. Right beneath the waves, where the striped dolphin has just slipped into the blue, another silhouette rises from the dark. Long, sharp, silent. The swordfish, lone hunter of the open ocean. Its blade is no ornament, but an extension of speed and raw power. Yet in these waters, there is a rival, a predator built for velocity. The short-fin mako shark, warm-blooded, restless, the cheetah of the sea, a solitary wanderer, forever in motion, battling each passing day in a changing ocean. Beyond the mako's hunting grounds, deeper still, a giant emerges, the sperm whale. Its square head alone, nearly a third of its length. Inside, the spermaceti organ, an acoustic lens, a biological marvel. Here, sound becomes sight, clicks transforming to beams, guiding the whale through absolute darkness. One theory suggests the whale even shifts the waxy substance within, warming, cooling, to control buoyancy on its great descents. And descend it does, 90-minute journeys. 1,000 meters, sometimes more than 2. In that blackness lurk its prey, the giant squid. Scars on its skin tell the story of battles fought in silence. But life is not only about the hunt. Females and calves gather in maternal groups, raising the next generation together. Males live apart, solitary or in bachelor bands, returning only for the season of breeding. Their language? Codas, rhythmic clicks, pulsed like Morse across the sea. Yet the rhythm of their lives is painfully slow. Pregnancies stretch over a year. Births are few. Growth is glacial. And still they dive, hour after hour, into crushing depths. Their ribs flex where ours would break. Their lungs collapse where ours would drown. Even so, old bones bear marks of the strain, decompression, written into the skeleton itself. This is a population on the edge. In the Mediterranean, sperm whales are a distinct unit, endangered. 97% live in the west. In the east, only a fragile handful remain. Perhaps 200 along the Hellenic Trench. Here, some 50 family groups endure, no more than 400 whales. But the threats press in: entanglement, ship strikes, plastic, noise. A shipping route now cuts through the Hellenic Trench itself, one of the sea's most dangerous collision zones. And yet, with rerouted traffic and united protection, hope remains. A few thousand individuals, scattered and scarred, still they endure. The sperm whale, a living emblem of the deep. In the waters off Cyprus, at the far eastern edge of the Mediterranean, a shadow glides with the tide. The dusky shark. Silent, resilient, a courage-given form. This predator does not gamble on bursts of fury. It follows a slower script. A nearly 2-year pregnancy, the longest of any shark. A strategy written for survival in a harsh sea. Its body is the very image of the archetypal shark. Sleek torpedo, tall dorsal, powerful tail. 4 meters of muscle, more than 300 kilos of force. Every detail echoes the illustrations of old oceanographic charts. And yet, behind that classic outline lies a paradox. The dusky shark lives out of sync with the ocean around it. Females don't bear their first young until their 3rd decade of life. Pregnancy stretches 22 to 24 months, then a year of recovery before another cycle begins. A rhythm so slow that across an entire lifetime, a female may give life to only a handful of pups, far too few against the pace of human harvest. Still, in the eastern Mediterranean, this shark drifts close to coasts. Near Israel's Hadera power plant, warm discharges create an accidental oasis. Thermal waters drawing schools of fish, and with them, dusky sharks. Here, researchers discovered something extraordinary. 2 lineages meeting in one place. One from the Atlantic, one from the Indo-Pacific. A crossroads of oceans, embodied in a single species. Their journeys are vast, thousands of kilometers across shifting seasons. Hunting styles are simple but effective. Tuna, snapper, rays, dogfish, even sea turtles. Along the rocky coastlines, sardines, anchovies, squid, crabs, whatever the sea offers, they adapt. They will even scavenge when the chance comes. Flexibility is their edge, their secret to enduring in one of the most unforgiving corners of the sea. And yet, survival is far from certain. The Mediterranean is the fastest collapsing stronghold of sharks and rays anywhere in the world. For the dusky shark, slow to reproduce and often caught as bycatch in tuna and swordfish nets, the numbers bleed away faster than they can return. Its great fins fetch high prices across distant markets, adding weight to the toll. A life built on patience and endurance, now balanced on the edge of disappearance. Dive to depths between 20 and 80 meters, where the reefs lie draped in shadow and the currents fall still. Here, another presence waits. Unlike the restless dusky shark, the Mediterranean moray, a master of concealment, it prefers the cracks of stone, wedging itself into narrow crevices. Its weapon is not speed, but patience and silence. Its long, muscular body glistens with a slick coat of mucus. This living armor wards off parasites, shields against jagged rock, and lets it glide through stone corridors like liquid shadow. In some cases, that mucus even carries mild toxins, a subtle warning to any who touch. Its back is painted in fractured patterns, like shards of broken stone. Camouflage so perfect it vanishes against the seabed. A single ribbon-like fin runs the length of its body, each wave of muscle flowing into the next, a ghostly ripple through the reef. The moray is faithful to its chosen lair. Some remain in the same outcrop for years, guarding their tiny kingdom of rock. Slow to grow, they live nearly 4 decades, reaching lengths of 1.5 meters. By day, only a watchful head emerges from the stone. But when night falls, the reef changes hands. The moray slips into the dark, guided by scent, blood, slime, or the faint trace of decay. Its diet is eclectic: fish, crabs, shrimp, but above all, octopus and squid, prey that hunt the night as well. What sets it apart lies hidden in its throat, a second set of jaws. The pharyngeal jaws strike forward, seizing prey and dragging it inward, a weapon working independent of the main bite. In the cramped tunnels of the reef, suction fails, but the moray does not. Even so, it is not always predator. At times, it becomes a partner, opening its mouth wide as tiny cleaner shrimp enter, plucking parasites from teeth and gills. Even here, in seas poor in life, fragile balances endure. History, too, has tied humans to this strange hunter. The Romans once raised them in saltwater ponds, delicacies for the wealthy, and centuries later, the carving of the Suez Canal would reunite seas kept apart for millions of years, breaking barriers no one intended.